Hey guys, it's Kim with Kim Taylor Real Estate Group, and today I have a super special guest. I know her personally. So, um, two things kind of exciting. So, this is my younger sister, Casey Bergman. Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome. Hello.
Yeah. So we are going to be talking today about the second thing that's super cool is we're going to be talking about a foundation that you and your husband started called the Anchor Foundation. And it just so happens to be our nonprofit of the month for the month of October. K-Drug gives back. We always like to give back to certain organizations or nonprofits, things like that. Stopping human trafficking has been a big one for us in the past. We've decided each month for the next year to adopt a nonprofit to give back to, and yours is the first one. So I'm super excited. So tell me and tell everyone we know what, how, when, where, what is the Anchor Foundation, and how did you guys get started? Take it away.
That's a loaded question. Okay,
I know,
so
right?
yeah, we started in 2018, but it had been something that honestly God had been bugging me about for several years, and it took my husband to come along and finally go, all right, we're going to do this thing. So really how it started was I had a friend years ago now, and he really opened my eyes. He was a single dad and had several kids. And he opened my eyes to the other side of single parenting. Everything up to that point, I'd only known from the single mom's perspective, but he opened my eyes to what it's like for a single dad who had fought for his marriage, what that's like for them on the other side. And it's totally different because, there's so many resources for single moms.
Mm.
And I got to see for the first time what it looks like when a guy fights for his marriage. And then, all of a sudden he's divorced and wife usually gets the house.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe he's moved into an apartment or a rental home. Usually he's not buying another house,
Mm-hmm.
like from the get-go. And so the kids are used to a certain lifestyle. And then all of a sudden dad can't offer that
Mm-hmm.
because they stay at mom's house during the week, and then every other weekend they're going to dad's, and maybe it's an apartment and maybe they don't even have a bed, like maybe it's just a mattress on the floor.
Right.
And so that situation really opened my eyes to a need, and I started praying about it. And then God just started giving me vision and laying things on my heart. I'd be at church trying to worship and all of a sudden, I start getting visions of the Anchor Foundation. And honestly, what happened was, he just wouldn't let it go. Like I couldn't go to church without having visions of the Anchor Foundation. I couldn't even get through church. So finally it was like, okay, we got to do something, if anything, just to get this to stop, like
Yeah.
maybe we should have been obedient much sooner, but that's how it got started. And what we do is we help the non-custodial parent. It's not always the dad, but usually it is the dad. We help them with things like for example, there's a dad we're helping right now who's got 3 kids, and in the process of divorce, all of his finances have been drained. And he said, he's got a kid in jujitsu and basketball and soccer, and it was just really hard for him because he said, I'm not going to be able to continue their sports because I just had to furnish a house because of my divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we did was we stepped in and we were able to help continue the kids in their activities, which
That's
means a
awesome.
lot to them because they've already had the rug,
Mm-hmm.
ripped out from underneath them. And
Mm-hmm.
it's important to give them that security to continue in their activities.
So let me stop you right there and ask you for it's kind of a maybe kind of a dumb question, but for the people who aren't well versed in the divorce world, what do you mean by non-custodial? The parent who doesn't get custody of the kids or does get
Yes.
custody?
Okay. So the non-custodial parent is the parent who does not have
Okay.
custody of kids.
Okay, so they don't have the kids all the time. So
Right.
like when there's a divorce, like the mom keeps the house and all the kids stuff, the husband has to move out and he has basically nothing. You're helping that
Right.
person get their feet back on the ground. That's an amazing thing.
Right. Right. And just to be clear, I mean, what our focus is because we've kind of had some challenges with fundraising and even, churches per se, because people don't understand. They're like, what are you doing? Are you helping these dads that just left their families? And we're not. Our heart is for that dad who fought for his family and the wife left anyway.
Mhm.
Just because there's this gap in care for single parents that those people are not being serviced or helped. And so, um, yeah, it's the dad that fought and then lost his
Is
family,
it
or the
50-50?
non-custodial parent. It could be the wife, it could be the mom who
Yeah.
lost her family. I just met a mom over the weekend, and that was her story. She actually is the one who did not have custody of her children, and
Okay.
she was a great person, but divorce is nasty, and sometimes
Mhm.
alienation happens, and
Mhm.
sometimes oftentimes lying happens, and so
Mhm.
people can get painted to be something that they're actually not.
Okay. So I have two other questions. First of all, what kind of, I don't want to say vetting process, like how does somebody go about the process of getting involved? Like how do they get chosen to be part of y'all's nonprofit? How does
Well,
that look?
up to this point, we've worked with churches
Mm-hmm.
to help vet. But what you can do is you can contact us on our website, and that's www.theanchorfoundation.org. And
Okay.
so there's a place on there where you can reach out. But when we vet people, we're going to always go back to the church, and we're going
Mm-hmm.
to see, is that person, are they a member? Are they actively involved?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a life group leader that we can talk to that actually knows this person,
Mm-hmm.
to where we can get involved in their life and see, like, what do they need? Like,
Right.
maybe they need counseling. Maybe they don't need help with children's activities. That we've got an event coming up October 25th and the 6th. And my heart, when this all started, was really to help set up the bedrooms for the children.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out of just the revelation of my own daughter, who's now 25. And when I got divorced, she was 7. So I was a single mom for 13 years. And really, until Ashlyn had the vocabulary to tell me what her life was like when her dad left, I
Mm-hmm.
did not understand. And,
Mm-hmm.
and and truthfully, I think most moms are so angry or upset, or when I say moms, or
The spouse.
whoever got left
Yeah. Yeah.
when it all fell apart. There's so much emotion wrapped up in that. You're just trying to survive. And so
Mm-hmm.
you're not asking your child, hey, what's it like over at dad's house or at mom's house? And, I didn't realize that, when she went to go visit her dad, of course, he was doing the best he could at the time, but, she had a cardboard box in the corner of her room that she shared with her dad. And any mom that you
Mm-hmm.
talk to, that should rip your heart out, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants their child to live like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of that, just understanding what Ashlyn, what her life was like, growing up as a child of divorce, it showed me that there's a need to create, a sense of safety and security
Right.
for kids. And so October 25th, we've got a dad who's got 3 young children,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited that we're able to help him. He approached us because his children wanted to share a bedroom together, and they're all young in elementary. Actually, one of them's not even in school yet. And so I designed a shared space for them. And then we're going to convert the bedroom that the son was in to a playroom for them.
Oh, fun.
So right now we need volunteers.
Volunteers.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need help.
So I love it that, first of all, it's on your birthday. That's kind of cool.
I know, it's like the best birthday present ever, and I don't even think he knows that. And
I know you're impressed that I remembered it was
thanks.
your birthday. Okay, so and then let me just add. Okay, so great volunteer opportunity. First of all, so if you want to get involved, you don't have to just give monetarily. You can volunteer your time, which my team and I
Exactly.
would definitely. We can't that particular one, but we will definitely be doing it in the future.
Yeah.
Second of all, I lost my train of thought. I do have a bird. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Second of all, Ashlyn talk about the grace of God. That girl is an amazing young woman of God. Love that girl. All Everybody came out with flying colors, and I know divorce is not always that way, but everyone is thriving and successful and doing great. So by the grace of God, that's amazing. My other question to you is, and then we'll wrap this up real quick. Where did you come up with the name with the Anchor Foundation? Like, how did y'all come up with that name? I'm just curious.
Again, I mean, I would love to take credit for it, but it was really just God.
Okay.
I mean, when I started having these visions, I kept seeing water
Mm-hmm.
and I kept seeing an anchor.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like he just gave it to us. I mean, ultimately, it's so symbolic of the anchor. Like we want to be an anchor for
Yeah.
children that
Yeah.
are going through just the trauma of divorce. We want to be that safe place for them that provides just security and peace. And
Yeah.
so I feel like the anchor, he did a good job with that.
That was good. I
But
really
it
like
was
it. I
him.
love the
Yeah.
logo. I love everything. So, thank you so much for sharing your heart and everything about your nonprofit. I will have the link below if you want to volunteer. If you want to give, you can go to the website. You can contact Casey on Instagram, Facebook. They're pretty much everywhere. They're pretty easy to find. So, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No problem. Y'all have a great day.
All right, you
Bye.
too. Bye bye.